For this year's Yes Tour, we use the Yamaha DTX Multi-12. It's a brand new electronic drum pad from Yamaha. It has 12 different pads on it, a variety of built-in sounds, but what's key for us is the ability to load in custom samples. Alan will fly in different samples on various songs to augment what's already going on stage. Only Heart, Changes, there's a variety of songs where Alan will be using these custom samples. But we integrate this in with Alan's drum set, use the trigger outputs in this so he can play the 5 pads that are up on top of his drum set to give him easier access as far as reach-wise to these other samples. So we'll come here, we'll go through the set list and even potential songs that could come up on the set list, either at various legs of the tour or maybe changed, for whatever reason during the tour itself. And we'll go through the set list, figure out what samples that we want. Sometimes we'll just capture these straight off of the CD where we have a good spot to record them. If not, we'll create those via various means. We may just another sample off of a sound library. Today we were looking for a Crow Talk sample, a bell sample. Sometimes we'll have to load multiple samples into a sampler in my computer and create that sound, and occasionally we'll have to even create a performance with those sounds to accurately as we can duplicate what's on the album. In the trigger outputs, we the other pads that are on the drum kit, and it has the ability to play those sounds during the set. Here's a good example here. For Owner of a Lonely Heart, there's that unique processed drum fill that occurs twice in the song, once at the very beginning and then a different drum fill with that same sound in the middle. Over the course of the years, they've approached that in a variety of different ways. Sometimes Alan plays it on the drums, and they forget that sort of unique, almost like a 40s sort of drum sound. So we'll play it, like I said, on the drum kit. Sometimes we'll play it via sample. It's just a little combination of both. They'll play along with it. So for this here, what we're doing is we have the beginning of the sample. Beginning of the song recorded in pad, and then in the middle where the breakdown is, we've got this whole part including the horn stabs, which builds up to the guitar solo. So every preset that I create, because these samples are so long, there's always the possibility that something may get triggered inadvertently. And if it's a long sample, it's going to be very noticeable in the course of the song. So on every single preset, I get an emergency exit pad, which we call that, and I always have it on this pad, so he doesn't have to remember from preset to preset. So here's an example here how this works. If I trigger this sample, that always cuts that one off. So that is always our way to get out of a sample if it's triggered inappropriately. So, if we're taking a sample off of the CD, what we do is load the CD into my computer. From there I can suck the audio straight off of the CD into my audio editing application. Here I'm using Bias Peak version 7. And you can see the waveform, so typically I import the entire song, then I'll go in there and kind of surgically extract the portion that I need. I can create that, optimize that for the live performance, and then that sample is then saved off onto a flash drive. Flash drive is loaded into the Yamaha pad. Import that sample in there, and it stays resident in there. When the bass ritual live on stage, there's a portion of the song that's the big drum solo. Well, that's all multi-tracked, and to facilitate that and make that sound as authentic as possible, what we do is we fly in a background loop that is this drum part that you recognize. Now, very short being soloed there on the CD, so I can take a short sample and loop it so it'll play back continuously. This particular example, there are things going on in the background, and to avoid it sounding like a loop, I had to kind of go in there and find the best spot for that. So in some cases, I've actually dissected a couple different spots and put it to make a little bit of a longer sample, and then created the loop out of that. Into that part, then there's the main drum part we have, and we also loop that, and that goes on continuously in the background while Alan does his drum solo and the other members join in all in drums. And I mentioned before, occasionally there's things that we can't get off of the CD for whatever reason. They're buried in other parts that the band will be performing live, so we'll have to go in and create those samples. On the end of Owner of a Lonely Heart, the live version of it, the horn stabs go up and up and up and up. So what we did, we copied, pasted those, and changed the pitch on those in different samples, and then glue that back together to make one continuous sample.